this mayoral candidate in New York City is facing a lot of heat. The representative from Tennessee, Andy Ogles, just came out with it. He put a letter in to none other than Pam Bondi just yesterday saying, hey, we got to look at this guy, because apparently when he applied for citizenship, he wasn't forthcoming with everything that he was involved in. He said, and I quote, "The naturalization process depends on the good faith disclosure of any affiliation with or support for groups that threaten U.S. national security. If Mr. Mamdani concealed relevant associations, that concealment may constitute a material misrepresentation sufficient to support denaturalization under federal law." Wow. Okay, so translation, the guy could get deported right back to Uganda because he lied on his applications. This is kind of interesting. Wow. So take a look here. This is one of the tweets that Andy Ogles put out. He's talking about the guy and his rap music, where he apparently was really praising some non-American groups. So that was one problem that we saw. And then there was another, because in addition to that, he went on to say that he was lying on his N-400 citizen application. And if someone lies during the naturalization process, especially about support for terrorists, then they should be denaturalized, deported, etc. Here he is speaking on Newsmax about this from his car. It was important. Breaking news. Anyway, our friends over at Newsmax interviewed Andy Ogles. I want to play a quick soundbite for you, how he's talking about this, because this is pretty serious. They may actually have a path forward here, in which case, then New York City, I guess you can really thank the president, because you won't have to worry about communism coming to New York.
Well, so part of the process when you fill out the naturalization forms, which, here's a copy of one here, is you've got to disclose your activities. So like communism, anti-American activities. And so in 2018, when he was naturalized, he failed to disclose some of the things that he had been doing, one of which was joining the Democrat Socialists of America. That's a communist organization, which, quite frankly, at that time would have disqualified him from becoming a United States citizen. So what we're encouraging to do is the Justice Department to look into the timing of his joining that organization. It would have been anti-American. It would have fit the definition of what he would have been required to disclose, and quite frankly, would have made him most likely ineligible to become a naturalized citizen. So if that's true, then the process could begin of him being denaturalized. Now, that being said, even if we can't prove or dot the I's and cross the T's and get this guy on this, it creates a template for these other individuals who come to this country. They're sleeper cells. They want to undermine our way of life. They want to take advantage of our generosity. Enough is enough. Look, I'm a proud American. I love my country, love my flag, I love my God, and I love my family. And I'm tired of us being taken advantage of by the rest of the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and like, let's just be really clear, and I don't want to get into it. You've probably seen it all. The guy is not very pro-American, okay? He's just not. And he's certainly very anti-Israel. And on top of it all, he is very communist, okay? So there you have it. I mean, it's all out there. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not an immigration lawyer, but I would think if you lied on the application, there's actually a real chance that this could come back to haunt you in a pretty significant way. The White House was asked about this. The White House was asked about it, and it was something that they said that they would consider. I just want to go to one of the chats here. Thank you, one, for the generosity. Somebody's asking about the description of the ICE Alert app. We're actually going to get to that because CNN is under fire for having promoted this ICE Alert app. But, in the meantime, back to Mamdani and all of his issues. The White House weighed in on this, and you know what? They're actually concerned about the guy. Let's play this, because he's asked about whether or not, or I should say Caroline Leavitt is being asked about whether or not there should be any kind of deportation of him, a la what Ogles is saying, and she doesn't say no.
Peter.
Thank you, Caroline. Does President Trump want Zohran Mamdani deported?
I haven't heard him say that. I haven't heard him call for that. But certainly he does not want this individual to be elected. I was just speaking to him about it and his radical policies that will completely crush New York City, which is obviously a city that the president holds near and dear to his heart.
There's this Congressman Andy Ogles. He wants the Attorney General Bondi to explore denaturalization proceedings because he thinks Mamdani could have misrepresented or concealed material support for terrorism based on rap lyrics he wrote in 2017. Does President Trump think this is a worthwhile use of the Attorney General's time?
Well, I'll let the president speak to that. I have not seen those claims, but surely if they are true, it's something that should be investigated.
And could President Trump see himself, you said you just talked to him about this, could he see himself working with a Mayor Mamdani, somebody who on Meet the Press this weekend was given 3 chances to condemn the phrase globalize the intifada, but he couldn't?
Yeah, look, the president is always willing to work with everyone. He's working with Democrats across the country, Democrat governors, and he said he'll work with people on the far left. He works with Republicans. He works with people in the middle. He wants to do what's right for America, but surely someone who holds these values and is quite literally a communist and condemns every value that makes this country great. Common sense, law and order, low taxes, working hard, and earning your keep in this country. He's against all of that, and I think the president would find it difficult to work with someone like that. If he is elected, I'm sure you'll hear more from the president on that, but we'll have to see. Hopefully,
I gotta say, I hope the guy's not elected. I really, really hope he's not elected. It would just be so bad for New York, unless we just want to sit back and just watch the whole place implode. I mean, I don't wish that on the city. It doesn't deserve that. People forget it was a lousy place. I remember going in the 70s as a kid. My parents would take me to see a Broadway show. It was a big, big deal. I think my first trip when I was like 10, so actually maybe we were in the 80s by then. Anyway, it was a disaster, okay? It was scary. I remember Times Square, and it was like a red light district, right? I was just a kid. I'm like holding on to my parents for dear life. It was a terrifying place to be, and it wasn't until Giuliani came around where he cleaned it up. Mike Bloomberg continued that cleanup and had the backs of the police, and the police, trust me, even though he's a Dem, had the backs of him. And now look where we are today. I mean, it took you Bill de Blasio. Eric Adams tried to kind of rein it in, but it's like the train has left the station, and now you get this craziness going on. Not even AOC seems to be fully on board. I found this comment she made absolutely remarkable. I'm going to play it for you in a second. But again, reminder, fully independent here on the Trish Regan Show. We do love our sponsors. Do your part if you're interested in taking your vitamins every day and staying healthy like I do. Drink lots of water, get your exercise, eat well, and consider taking Balance in Nature. Balance in Nature. Fruits and veggies is my thing. You can get 35% off all their products, and they got lots of products. Just go to balanceofnature.com. Take a look at it. You'll read all kinds of testimonials there, guys. And Balance of Nature has been around for years. There's just thousands of testimonials. You don't have to take entirely my word for it, although my word is pretty good, right? But take a look at what people are saying. You can get 35% off plus free shipping plus total money back guarantee. You can also call them and just use my name. Use Trish as your code word, 1-800-246-8751, 1-800-246-8751 today. So, wow, AOC is now, I think, kind of backing off this guy. I mean, she's letting Letitia do the parade, right? You saw them. Yeah, there was a big parade in New York last weekend, and Letitia and Mamdani were kind of living it up there. But where was AOC? I think she's getting a little bit skittish because she must know her donors are so not into this. They're just not. So she made a wildly bad decision when she decided in the first place to come out and back this guy. A very bad decision. Here she is, seemingly walking it back. Listen to what she says. She tries to say that this is like a wake-up call for the party. Instead of saying like, I 1,000% am behind this guy, she's trying to say this is a warning. I think it's a very interesting word choice for the guy that she was seemingly backing.
We have a choice to listen to that message that people are sending us or not. This isn't just about Mr. Mamdani as an individual. This is about the message that the people of New York City are trying to send to our party.
Oh, I guess it's a giant FU. That's what the message is. Because when you put a guy like this, again, let's put this in his words. Well, his words lifted straight out of Karl Marx's textbook here. I mean, he's talking about, listen to him talking about housing, how he's going to make it all free. I mean, the guy's literally nuts.
Toward the Vienna model, we'll have to go beyond the market. We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market and convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects.
Our wealth. Our wealth. Come on, buddy. It's not your wealth. It's whoever actually made it. That is what is so disgusting. I'm sorry. You're going to get my Irish up because as soon as the commies start talking, I have no use for any of it. This is a red-blooded American capitalist right here. And I know because you know what? I've actually been a student of history. That was my degree, actually, in U.S. history. But I studied history all over the world, and I love economic history. And anytime you go to any country, any place, guess what? It always ends in misery. Venezuela, USSR, Vietnam, Communist Cambodia. It's a bad recipe, okay? Bottom line, the only people that succeed in these situations are those on top. The AOCs, the Bernie Sanders with his multiple homes, or this guy with his fancy education and his fancy talk straight out of Marx.
Offer good homes and strong communities to everyone. We won't decommodify housing overnight. But we know what we have to do. And
my Irish is really up. All right. That's what you call communist talk. Okay, guys? This is actually, look, is it dangerous? I think it is. I think it's dangerous for the Democrat Party, though. Because you saw what happened in the election. Sure, it's dangerous for New York, but everybody's just going to leave. Okay, you know what? The wealthy will be fine because the wealthy will hightail it down to Florida or to the Connecticut suburbs or to the Hamptons or wherever they want to go, right? They're going to be fine. It is the regular folks that are always hurt the most in these situations. Again, just go take a little visit down to Venezuela. Why doesn't he? Before you spout off about all this nonsense and you see the poverty to the point where people are hungry, they don't have food. It's just gross what they're trying to do, and I have no use for it. Anyway, in the meantime, CNN is under all kinds of fire. Before we get to that, we got a market today that suddenly took a turn for a little bit for the worse. You have the NASDAQ a little bit lower. Part of that's related to, of course, Tesla because, well, the little brouhaha is spouting up again. Did you see, guys, the Treasury Secretary kind of dissing Elon Musk? This was kind of funny. I'm like, oh my gosh, Scott is getting catty because, well, Elon Musk decided that this bill wasn't really good, right? You know that. He's been going on about this for a while. And the Treasury Secretary was asked about this, and he had some interesting things to say. By the way, you see 76research.com on the bottom. That's my financial company. Use code word dollar. You get the research for $1 a month for the first 2 months. Then it goes to $9.95. Great introductory rate. Lots of good names there. And a lot of guidance for you on what we think are the opportunities, myself and my colleague Rob over there. Anyway, here is Scott Bessent getting catty, if you would, on one Elon Musk. Watch.
Passes. What's your reaction? You guys famously tangled in the White House.
I admire Elon's leadership on rockets. I will take care of the finances.
Okay. I'm laughing. Okay. It was a little bit funny, right? Just a little bit funny. Like, I admire him on rockets, but I'll take care of the finances. It's in other words, like, buddy, you do you, I'll do me, and we'll all be better off for that. We will all be better off for that. So again, I remind you, go to 76 Research, use code word dollar today for a look at what those opportunities are in this market. As I said, NASDAQ trading down about 0.7% right now. Dow up 1%. There are still lots of good things to be buying, and I believe in what this new opportunity is for sure. Believe me, I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't.